For once, this is the report of Group 4 about information control and privacy. Page terms. BSA, Business Software Alliance. CSS, Content Scramble Software. DRM, Digital Rights Management. DPT, Digital Versatile. IPR, Intellectual Property Rights. NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreements. NFC, Near Field Communications. PM, Private Message. Conceptual resources are non-tangible and considered valuable for what they represent. Copyright is a set of exclusive rights granted by a state to the creator of an original work or his or her assignee for an unlimited period of time in exchange for public disclosure of the work, and includes the right to copy, distribute, and adapt the work. Data scrambling is done to hide sensitive information from unauthorized users. Digital rights pertains to the permission of individuals to legitimately perform actions involving the use of computer, any electronic device, or communications network. Digital rights management used to describe the process by which the author or publisher of a work exerts his or her rights to control that the purchaser of his or her work is entitled to do. Facts considered relevant truths which have been validated and identified. Information refers to process data. Information control is allowing those who have appropriate authority access to and use of information on the basis of the authority that they hold. Intellectual property is a number of distinct types of intangible assets for which a set of exclusive rights are recognized. Knowledge refers to the useful information. Metadata used to identify the author's name, author, and date of purchase, among other pertinent pieces of information. Mobile commerce, e-commerce, the delivery of electronic commerce, capability directly into the consumer's hand anywhere via wireless technology. Patent is a set of exclusive rights granted by a state to an inventor for an unlimited period of time in exchange for the public disclosure for an invention. Personal data breach is a subset of a security breach that actually leads to accidental or unlawful destruction, loss, alteration, unauthorized disclosure of or access to personal data transmitted, stored, or other processed. Physical resources are tangible and can be easily identified. Accompanied by the addition of components to the original signal or the changing of some important components of the original signal in order to make extraction of the original signal difficult. Security incident is an event or occurrence that affects or tends to affect data protection or may compromise availability, integrity, or confidentiality. Software piracy is the unauthorized copying or distribution of copyrighted software. Trade secret is the term used for any method, formula, price, process, or any information that gives the business a competitive advantage over its competitors. Trademark is a distinctive sign used by an individual, business organization, or other legal entity to identify products or services to consumers. Introduction to resources. Organizations treat companies' assets such as buildings, equipment, and their manpower as important resources. Resources are the total needs available to a company for increasing production or profit, including land, labor, capital, and raw materials. These resources are known as physical resources. They are tangible and can be easily identified. Physical resources usually start from acquisition and are then assembled to be available for use when needed. Very often, the assembly process entails converting essential raw materials into a refined form such as wood, cement, and steel for building constructions. The other types of resources is called conceptual resources. Conceptual resources are non-tangible and are considered valuable for what they represent rather than their physical makeup. Money is considered a conceptual resources as each paper will represent a specific monetary value as opposed to the paper where it is printed. While everyone can be considered in a company. Their skills, knowledge, and job experience set them apart from one another, those identifying staff, managers, executives, and laborers.
So, information as a resource. Information can be simply defined as facts about something or someone that are provided or learned. Facts are considered relevant proof which have been validated and identified. Data are considered facts. Therefore, processed data are considered as information as they organize in such a way that they have additional value beyond the value of the facts themselves. So, here are the listed characteristics of the information as a resource. So, first, information is expandable. Expandable information can be expanded without compromising its integrity. In fact, by having additional information, much more can be understood from it. So, information is pretty so much expandable so that it can be understandable sa tanan. So, expandable refers to something that has ability or capacity to increase in size or volume. So, it is important and necessary of an information to be expanded so that it is easy to understand. Then, next information as a resource is compressible. Although expanded information can give a more detailed explanation, it may not always be needed. So an example of this is a news site. Instead of a barrage of details, news sites would often give one-liner headlines that provide enough information about the news. So the information is being compressible to shorten the information. Useful and expandable, so it is also very useful when the information is compressible. Like for example, sa news, sa headline pa ng daan is it's already given the enough information about the news that make us understand about it. So next information as a resource is transportable. So information, especially digital information, is easily transportable. With the use of the internet and various technologies, information can be sent through any of the following. So information is transportable siya nowadays, especially kay nagamit na ito mga digital information on and various technologies. So, mayroon siyang mag-transport ito sa send via email, share via Facebook, copy sa flash drive, and number 4 is upload on YouTube. So, all of this, pwede na maka-transport of information. So, next information as a resource is diffusive. So, we can say that the information is diffusive. Gossip or rumors tend to spread easily. Unfortunately, the same applies to any kind of information, be it is true or not. So, ang information is already kita nga, dali na rin siya spread, especially pag it-cheese na siya or something like that, dali siya spread. So, next is information as a resource. Shareable siya. Information is shareable. Since information can be easily spread, it is considered shareable as well. Information can be kept, calling it as a secret rather. However, once a person decides to tell it to someone, then he or she will no longer have control over it. Information is not all different from other resources, similar to how physical resources are managed. Information is considered valuable and also has a life cycle. So, information is shareable with siya, and since dali na siya ma-spread, yes, it is considered as shareable. And the best example ani is kanang Marites, of course. Wala na siya i-control siya paggalingon, of course, pag tell niya sa iyang friend niya isa, then mo-transmit niya sa other friends, so literal, Marites. That's why. So, wala siya, ang information is very, very shareable. Dili lang siya kaysa technology siya applicable, and of course, in personal, in real life, applicable din siya. So, information can also be available in different grades and types. And prices budgets of a certain amount depending on the type of upgrade needed. So we have already tackled the information as a resource, so let's proceed to valuable information. So what can say that valuable information is valid, or how can it say that it is valuable? So information is said to be valuable if it has the following characteristics. So number one, valuable information if it is accurate. So accurate information is error-free. In some cases, inaccurate is generated because inaccurate data was processed. Analysts call this as garbage in, garbage out. By typing parts of the computer in the search bar, Google gives you a list of several websites which contain the information you are looking for. However, how do you determine which are accurate and which are inaccurate? So the information is said to be valuable information kung tumpak ang information na siya. So this is the table which contains or determine which accurate and which are inaccurate information. So formal information is official and authoritative. Then informal information is more casual and less authoritative. The next is need to be taken seriously and is presented in a formal manner. Then informal information, it is presented in a less formal manner. Formal information is usually more carefully prepared and verified than informal information. And its accuracy and reliability should also be higher. While informal information, it is possibly less reliable. Then formal information for your research work could come from technical websites as well as academic websites. Bits of informal information include those from blogs, wikis, social sites, and public forums. Nowadays, the use of wikis has become a norm when it comes to information research. The most popular wiki today is what we call the Wikipedia org. Then, the another valuable information is said when it is complete. Complete information contains all the information facts. This is especially important in the field of medicine. Missing from information could spell disaster or worse, lead to death. So importance of the complete information is para dili siya maka-cause of lead to death. Kaya for example, in the hospital, kung kulang ang information nga ihatag sa doctor and then lahi ang mahatag sa pharmacy, for example, so maka-cause din siya of death sa patient. So, next is economical. Information should be relatively economical to produce. Decision makers must always balance the value of information with the cost of producing it. With the spread of the internet, information dissemination has become easier and faster and a lot cheaper. Yes, of course, because of the internet, mas napadali o napasayo ng transaction when it comes to economy. Then next is reliable. Reliable information can be depended on. In many cases, the reliability of information depends on the validity of the data collection method. In other cases, reliability depends on the source of information, which brings us back to valuable information being economical. Torrent sites offer pirated software, music, and movies for free. However, the resolution of the movie downloaded, for example, might not be clear, might even contain malware and virus that could infect the computer system. So another is that the flexible. Flexible information can be used for different purposes, depending on the situation, personal information can be used for a variety of ways. So next is relevant. Relevant information is important to the decision making. Then simple. Information should be also simple, not overly complex. Sophisticated and detailed information may not be needed. Complex information may sometimes lead to confusion, which would result in inaccuracy of details. So information mas importante siya, mas simple, para dali siya ma-subtan, and then less confusion siya. So timely information is delivered when it is needed. This is true in the case of weather predictions, stock market forecasts, and traffic management. The next is verifiable. This means that information can be checked for correctness and authenticity. Most authors include references like bibliography or citations in their works to enable readers to verify content. So accessible information should be easily accessible by authorized users to obtain in the right format at the right time to meet their needs. And lastly, the valuable information characteristics is that it is secure. Information should be secure from access by unauthorized users. Mobile-based systems such as Samsung Pay and Apple Pay use biometric authentication. Typically, a fingerprint scan before a transaction is made. This ensures that only the owner of the phone can cause the app for payments. So, importante kayo ang security of information para to avoid scam. Wala siya nga. Nowadays, mas wala kayo siya ang kanang scan sa phone para ma-secure ang isang katao sa mga scam.
Go.
Value of information. Information is considered valuable mainly for business purposes. Business dependently to produce quality products and services. This helps organizations become globally competitive and be up to date with the latest trend and technology. With the business gearing towards IT automation, the strategy now is to come up with business activities that shorten the time frame while increasing productivity. Valuable information helps managers make good decisions, which is why valuable or useful information is called knowledge. Some pieces of information have entertainment value and business value, but regardless of the source of the value, people are willing to pay for information. Information has a four characteristics, namely it first has zero marginal cost. Second, it's non-revaluable. Third, it's non-exclusive, and last, does not exhibit a high degree of transparency. Zero marginal cost is the cost of producing the first copy of an information could may be substantial, but the cost of producing or reproducing additional copies is negligible. So, sa zero marginal cost, so permanente po pananitan sa movie o kuan ka permanente po ka karang produce og mga copy magkawala ay magkagamay og ana lang ang cost ana lang movie mo na zero marginal cost. Non-revaluable. Promotion and consumption of information by consumer is possible. Movies nowadays are sold not only as DVD copies. There are also digital formats which anyone can watch online or download to their mobile devices, either as a rental or a paid subscription. Non-exclusive. Exclusion is not a natural property of information. Good. True, it is possible to construct exclusion artificially. However, the nature of information is that if it is known, it is difficult to exclude other from its use. Non-exclusive. So, ang non-exclusive is accessible siya sa tanan. Wala yung mga limitation or restriction. The non-exclusivity of information makes a natural exclusion challenging. Emails and SMS, one can identify only as intended recipient of the message through a specific email address or a phone number. However, emails and SMS has the capability of forwarding the exact information to other recipients. So, ang non-exclusive is karang na-identify rin siya of one na recipient or receiver of information. Pero ang SMS o email, kaya pwede siya maka-forward ng laing message maskin wala kabalo ang sender. No transparency. To evaluate the information must be known. So one has to invest in learning how to evaluate it. A programmer undergoing both camp training to learn a new programming language needs to invest the time, money, and effort. The more complicated the training, the more expensive the cost, and the longer the time needed to learn it. Information economics. Since people have a widely different values for a particular piece of information, value-based pricing is naturally to differential pricing. In economics, a good considered to be an experience good. The consumer must experience it to value it. Virtually, any new product is an experience good. And marketers have developed strategies such as free samples, promotional pricing, and testimonials to help consumers learn about the new goods. Information, on the other hand, may be treated differently since it is When buying assurance, customers are given the opportunity to try and prior decide if they want to buy it or not. So catering companies offer free taste tests of their complete menu so their customers get experience the food they offer prior to reserving for an event. With information, organization cannot give the full experience to customer as this could lose interest afterwards. So, ay, sa information ni kanang dili food pwede ihatag sa organization tanan ang full experience na to sa customer like katong sa free taste dili pud nila i-full ug hatag tanan sa customer kay basin mawalan sila o kaya mawalan sila o kana o dili na lang sila ganahan palit kay mausog sila sa free taste. Another example is imagine you are in a movie theater and you are choosing from two movies to watch. If the movies are to be treated the same way as the shirt and the food that you would need to watch both movies in their interview before you decide is good to watch. And the decision would make no sense anymore, kay imo naman gilantaw ang both ng movie. So, sa ako, imo mo ipaliha ang mag-decide kung sa imo pagpili o movies like di ba sa food kay taste man imo ka kung paliha o imo lang tawo ang duha ka movie sir ka mag-decide kung sa imo lang tawo yo make sense kay ginantaw naman imo so wala na ko ang the information and other are making different reasons. It is not the asset that provides value in today's economy. What provides information about that? Branding and reputation. Browsing reviews an example of this strategy is a movie trailers. Movie trailers that normally run from 1 to 3 minutes give viewers a glimpse of what the film is all about. Trailers normally include highlights from the film which can leave the audience excited to watch and the entire film later on. Second is the branding. Big names such as Microsoft and Apple have moved issues when it comes to launching the new products as people have already established their trust on these brands. According to American Telecommunication or Telco Company Sprint, when Apple introduced iPhone 7 in September 2016, pre-order sales shot up by 375% compared to the launch of iPhone 6. Last, the reputation. When a movie is announced, people would often be skeptical if it will be good enough. However, the reputation of directors and the cast of actors and actresses normally remove the skepticism. Ay, ang skeptics di ay kay mga siya ka wala dabul or wala kay silent. For example, Michael Bay is known for successful directing the Transformers movie franchise. This reputation has made his movies blockbuster hits and the people have made the connection that if this is a Michael Bay film, it must be good. So this is the reason this film would often include the construction as a Michael Bay film instead of just a movie film. If you see itself, wala natin sa reputation yan is image, diba na karang sa about sa showbiz, karang image nila, sikat pa sila, may Captain Bernardo, Daniel Padilla, basta makainugan na mga sila ang kadala, syempre, yun lang, hindi mo na ikukuhaan sa reputation. In general, people value an organization's ability to make their life easier and better by using information about their products and operations. This includes providing predetermined information to lessen the decision-making of individuals. Think of it as providing additional information regarding the information itself. Google.com is an example. Whenever you try to search from something in Google search, it gives you a list of websites that pertain to the keywords you have typed in. This means that Google has provided you with a list of information regarding the information you are looking for. Another example is buying online via Amazon.com. When you browse through different items related to what you are looking for or inform you about what other items people who bought the item are looking at also.